you may have guessed, we are not just world. We are also on live stream. And I always forget to reset the stupid. Sorry about that, guys. So let me remind you of a couple things. Number one, if you're having trouble hearing us, I know that Ivan's already posted this and it is on your note card. But there are two links. One is on live stream at mixler.com/PastorGBCSL. The other one is actually watch us online on YouTube live. Yeah, there you go. Louisa's just posted it in the chat box. Thank you, Louisa. At youtube.com/ I think it's C Grace Church SLUS live. Understand that you can anytime come into Second Life listen to us live. The YouTube, which is where is actually recorded, and once it's finished recorded, I have to go back in and change the name. But otherwise, rate them isn't really a kid anymore. Moses stood up and demanded that he let God's people go. It's now 1400 years later. Jesus is gathered with to commemorate the event. The disciples are a bit distracted. Things aren't really well. Popularity finished. They noted that Jesus did not enter Jerusalem by day in the countryside until the sun set before evening. There was a secrecy around where they could meet that night. Jesus hadn't even told them, and understandably so. They knew that there was a movement to have Jesus arrested, to keep talking about death, and Judas was acting very strangely. And certainly they had grown accustomed. Was gone. Now there was more questions than answers. And as they gathered their annual feast, things got easier. Mark 14 is where verse 17. And when evening came, Jesus arrived with the 12. When they were reclining at the table, he said, "Truly, I tell you, one of you will betray me." Since Jesus was rarely wrong, this did come as good news. One who was eating with me? They were saddened, and one of them said, "Surely not I." Nobody asked, "What do you mean?" or "To who?" They were just, wasn't really going to happen. They knew the moment they heard it in Jerusalem, it was given up and was walking into a trap. "It's one of the 12, he replied, "the one who dips bread into the bowl with me. The Son of Man will go just as is written about him. But woe to that man who betrays the Son of Man. It would be better if he'd never been born." See, he's getting ready to stand them on their head. But it doesn't make sense. I mean, here he was the Messiah, and their idea of Messiah was a military leader going to overthrow the Romans and bring Israel back to their past. And this Messiah didn't. You see, one of the things we realize is that most of what we find in the scriptures was written in environments of extreme uncertainty. filled with feel-good messages for a live in. Here we find God active and speaking directly into uncertain times. I mean, look at this. He tells them, he finally, look, you're all going to fall away. It's not just going to be Judas who betrays me. You run away. Look at what verse 27 says. You will all fall away, Jesus told them. For it is written, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep will be scattered. But after I have risen, I will go ahead of you to Galilee. The Bible is filled with stories. I mean, you've got Judas who listened as his brothers whether or not to kill him or sell him.